decision on whether you want to move forward and make it happen or not.
Absolutely. So how does that actually also tie in with your Periscope for beginners? Do you think that's a great way as a strategy as well to introduce you other types of mediums to get their voice out there?
Guys, live stream is huge. Hey, Rafia, live stream is huge. It is, I mean, everything is going live stream. YouTube, Periscope, Snapchat, Instagram, it's all going that way. Busker, there are more live stream platforms coming out on a daily basis than ever before, and Periscope was the one that broke the ground to get it going. When I started about almost 2 years ago, when Periscope first started, it was kind of like, it was the perfect platform. I was getting started, Periscope was getting started, and it was just really, I mean, I feel, again, God orchestrates things for a reason. I'm able to connect with some of the most amazing people through Periscope. And these are legit, like, again, look at all the people that I've been able to meet through Periscope, you know, including Keith Jowers and Desiree Lee, the woman that helped me with my book, you know. I mean, the James McNeil, the one that first told me, you know, at some point you've got to write a book. A book is your key. Adam Flores, you know, I mean, the list goes on and on of all these amazing people that I've met, and that I've been, not only that I've met, but that I've been able to support, that I've been able to work with, and that have been able to do the same for me. So, yeah, absolutely. Now, I'm actually getting ready to change this from Periscope to live stream because I think it's important to understand live stream.
Absolutely. A little bit of background noise around here. Thank you so much, Joe, for joining us. Thank you very much. I was about to ask you to mute. Thank you so much for muting. I appreciate that. So tell us a little bit more about this movement that you're on and some of the philosophy behind that.
Okay. So again, I take no credit for this. God basically showed me this. So I told you in my 30s, God basically came to me and said I had to forgive my mom. When I forgave my mom, that started a huge healing process in my life. Around 10 years later, at 43 years old, he opens up to me, and it all started with the website, with creating the philosophy, Welcome to the Movement. That was supposed to be a branding image, that kind of thing. But what happened was it ended up being this powerful message, and it ended up, everything just started to connect because and it can work for branding, absolutely. But what I love about it is it can work for pretty much anybody, whatever business they're in or whatever. It's very flexible. It can go, and I can adjust it to anybody, from corporations, small business owners, individual entrepreneurs, network marketers. I mean, the list goes on and on. Employees, children, right? I can take this and dynamic it from so many ways. But the movement process, in order to learn how to create movement, you got to learn how to move, right? Well, a lot of people don't even understand the 4 basic principles of learning how to move. And so the first thing we focus on is how to move, which is, number 1, your mindset. I mean, you know as well as I do, without the right mindset, the rest of it is useless. You can say all day long, I want to start a business. But if you don't have the right mindset, you're destined to fail before you ever begin, because you are not mentally prepared for the rejection. You're not mentally prepared for the people that you are the closest to you that tell you that you're going to fail. If you're not mentally prepared for that, and if you don't have your mindset aligned right, you're destined to fail. So your mindset is the first and most important thing. Once you have the right mindset, now you begin to see all the opportunities that have always been there. Pay attention for a second. They have always been there. You just never saw them because you didn't have the clarity and the right mindset to be able to see them. But when you get the right mindset, now the opportunities become clear, and you're able to take advantage of those opportunities. What does that create? It creates vision. You begin to see not only where you're at now, but where you want to be 6 months from now, where you want to be a year from now, where you want to be 3 years from now, where you want to be 5 years from now, because you get clarity. You got the right mindset. You got the right focus. You're seeing the right opportunity, so it gives you clear vision. And that, of course, empowers you. You get excited because you begin to see what is possible. And not only do you see it, you begin to believe it. And when you get empowered like that, that's when movement begins. That leads to momentum. Once you start building momentum, Momentum is action in motion. So now you've got action in motion. Now you've got to learn how to keep the momentum. And that's how the back end of the movement works. The right educational process to create the values in yourself so you can deliver the value to others. The right navigation system so you know where you're at when you begin, and you know, not only know where your endpoint is, but you've got the compass and the guidance to be able to follow your roadmap, whatever that looks like for you, and how to deal with the obstacles when you come across them, how to deal with the situations, the self-doubt and the fear and the negativity that are going to come across your path. How are you going to negotiate those and continue moving forward? And this is my favorite part. When all 7 align, it automatically begins the transformation. It automatically begins to transform you into what you were, into what you will now become. And you may think you know what that is. I thought I did. But it was even more beautiful. God had a plan for me that was even more beautiful than I could possibly imagine. And that's the movement process.
I absolutely love that, because that's the embodiment of what we actually do here with Straight Talk with Parents, is not only just talking about, parenting and mindset, but it's also about the transition process and about encouraging, enhancing, and having daily connections with our children. And it all comes back to having a mindset, having the right mindset to teach our children certain behavior. Because right now my daughter is like 2 and 4 months. So now she's at the stage where she's back chatting, she's a parrot, she's picking up words, she's experimenting with the patience of a parent. So she's pushing and learning those boundaries of, oh, maybe if I'll just do this, maybe that will annoy mum and dad. So I understand as a parent how hard it is, and not only just in business, to have a great mindset to begin the day with, because every day is very important to at least write what your attention is, what you want to do for the day, and setting the day up. So as a parent, sometimes we don't get that opportunity to start the day with the right mindset. So do you have any tips there on how parents may, if they're struggling with getting the right mindset in before, let's say, their children wake up?
Yes. I mean, the first and foremost is pray. Pray. I'm sorry, but that's where it starts for me, is prayer. You have to pray. That's where the initial begins. The good morning with God. If you start your morning with God, you're going to start out the right way. Your mindset is going to automatically begin to adjust, and you're going to have clarity. And the other thing you got to think about is the way you start your day is the way your kids are going to start their day, because they emulate you. They copy everything you do. So if you're having I've seen it, man. I've seen my son do this. He is like duplicated me. It's scary. Like if I go out and I'm having a bad day and I come in, he automatically adjusts to my emotional state. And your vibrations that you're sending out are what they're getting. You're sending them out, they're hitting them, and then they're coming back to you. And if you're not in those positive vibrations and giving, good thoughts out and good feelings and good emotions out, then your kids aren't getting the best of you, right? And you want your children to have the best of you. And yeah, they're going to test your boundaries, and yeah, they're going to test your patience. But when you do this the right way, it actually becomes very mutually beneficial. I've found, working with my son is 8 years old. He watched his dad write a book. Now my son, 8 years old, wants to write a book. So we're working on a plan for him to write a book, right? So we're building this base for him at a very, very young age, right? And I know for me, that was something that I didn't do. So I would tell you, as a parent, it's never too early to start developing their mindset. Even if it's as simple as watching a cool motivational video, one of the secret videos that are out on YouTube. I remember my son being 1 year old, and every morning, because I would watch it, he would want to watch it. And he would come up there, and there was images of a hummingbird, and he would start to emulate, oh, there's the bird, the beach, the woman, the child. Now, his subconscious is collecting all this data, right? So all of this information that I'm watching and I'm collecting, he's also collecting. And all of those memories are still in his head today. All of those thoughts, all of those things. subliminal messages are in his head. So you can work with them at a very, very early age. The type of music that you listen to, if you're listening to personal development training, like I listen to Joel Osteen, and he'll come listen to Joel Osteen with me, right? Just little things. They are going to copy what you do. So if you lead by the example from the beginning, wake up in the morning, have that piece of paper that says whatever you needed to say to start your day. Mine, I start with my Bible. And I start with my prayer, and there's actually there's Christian meditation on YouTube. You can go on there and you can actually meditate, and you can get as close as you dare to that level if you really want to apply yourself. Again, it comes down to wanting to apply yourself to get to that level. But if you really want to do it, you can do it.
Absolutely. I truly and absolutely believe that, because it is so important to start your day in the right type of way as much as you possibly can. Because some days your day may start at 4 o'clock in the morning. Some days we don't get to choose how our morning starts. But I always believe start the day with a cup of coffee and a piece of toast. You always got to start the day with breakfast, right? So I like to, with my daughter, I do a lot of personal development, especially in the morning. I do a lot of journaling and writing and, setting the day up so that my day is set in the way that I would love to see it go, because that's the way our life is. We're creators, so we got to create our life. And I love my daughter to be a part of that. And I do believe that it's so essential, because by the time they're 5, the happiness level is set. And you're talking about subliminal messages. Why not include them in what you're doing? Because we're basically their life teacher by the time they're in year 9. So everything that they need to learn is from us.
Right.
So if there was one thing that you could say to a parent who may be struggling with stress or, being a first-time parent, what would be something that you could say to them that would really help them at this moment?
I would say that sometimes you just have to stop and you have to breathe. And you have to remember that sometimes just doing that and recognizing your emotional state at that moment. Something my good friend James McNeil taught me is that we all have these eco states, right? There's transactional analysis, eco states, but a lot of people don't understand that. So if you just break it down into 3 simple principles, right? You have, if you imagine 3 circles, and you have the top circle, the middle circle, and the bottom circle. And in the top circle, you put a P. And in the middle circle, you put an A. And in the bottom circle, you put a C. So the P stands for parent. The A stands for adult. And the C stands for child, right? Now, most of us as parents, we end up in the parenting stage because we're dealing with our children. So we will deal from the parental stage. Now, there's 2 different types of parents. There's the nurturing parent, where if my son says, "Daddy, will you tie my shoes?" And I go, "Oh, sure, honey, I'll tie your shoes." And I never give him the chance. Well, what have you done so far? What have you tried? How about you go try to tie your shoes first, and then I'll come back and help you if you still need my help, so that they actually start to learn. It can be damaging, right? Then you have the controlling parent. Now, how many times have I told you you need to clean your room? How many times, right? And we find ourselves with the pointing finger. That's the biggest example of the controlling parent, because we have the controlling finger out and we're pointing and we're like, how many times have I told you? So you have the nurturing parent, controlling parent. Now the adult, that's the medium state. That's the happy state. That's the state where all good, rational decisions can be made. But what we don't think about as adults is the childlike state that we fall into. So think about this from 3 different categories for childlike states. You have angry children. How many times have we had an argument with our significant other or even with our children where we're yelling back and forth at each other? So you got a little angry child and a big angry child, and you're yelling back and forth at each other, and all you're doing is you're fueling the fire instead of actually settling things down. Whereas if you would just stop, take a breath, recognize where you're at, and go back into that adult state and get out of that angry child state, you could control the situation a lot better. The other one is the withdrawn child, where your child actually controls you and tells you, hey, go make me dinner. Hey, go do this. And you don't want to be confrontational because you don't want to hurt their feelings. So you actually withdraw from the conversation. Then we have what we call the spontaneous child. That's the one that's everything's fun and exciting and enjoying. And we can fall into those categories. So the next time that you're going to end up having that conversation with your child, or you're in that moment, stop, take a deep breath, and say, which one of these categories? Am I in the P, the A, or the C? Where am I, and what category am I in within that? So am I the controlling parent right now? Okay, what do I need to do to get, and that's what I actually teach. One of the communication trainings that we teach is how to recognize where you're at so you can get back to the adult state, so you can have, and you want to teach your children the right way to manage relationships, control interactions, and have safe strength, calm confidence, and pure motivation, and treat people with respect, communicate honestly, openly, respectfully, and directly. It starts with you. So remember, every time you begin to get confrontational, you've got to go back and go, wait a minute, it starts with me. Where am I at right now? So if you can just get that alone will save you so many headaches and so many arguments and so many high blood pressure moments. Will it solve all of them? Probably not. There's going to be that one that, at some point that emotional state may charge up. We actually do teach how to control those hot buttons, but that takes time. That takes exercises. That takes application and practice. But this is something you can start to apply tonight. And you can go back and watch the repeat. I'm pretty sure this is going to be posted. Go back and write this down, because this is good information. This is stuff that I try to teach parents everywhere I go, because I really believe in the fact that we as parents, we fall into the parent-child role. And what you'll start to see is your child will go from the child to the parent role with each other. Like if you have 2 or 3 or more, your son, like my son, he's 8, he'll be over there pointing his finger at my daughter, telling her what she needs to do and so I go, holy cow, my son's in the controlling parent mode, and my daughter's screaming, stop it! You're not the boss of me, right? So you got angry child. So what are we resolving? Nothing. But if I teach my son to listen to her and to just go back into the adult state and make sure she feels safe, respected, and understood. And remember, the most important part of the conversation isn't winning or losing. It's the relationship, your relationship with your child. God has given you a child, and it is one of the most beautiful things that you can have. It is one of the most beautiful gifts, just like having a wife or a significant other, a spouse. It's one of the most beautiful blessings that God can serve you with. So always remember, even in those high toxic moments, that this is God's gift to you. And how do you treat God's gift?
Absolutely. My journey as a parent has only just started. So I'm getting into that phase of trying to be the nurturing parent, trying to be the child where we're nurturing and playing with her as well. So my journey really has only begun. So I, beyond that point, have got no other experience. So I don't have experience with an 8-year-old or a 16-year-old. But being in that position myself, like 20 odd years ago, I can relate to how I was growing up. So we, as parents, we always have that in our back of our mind, that we always want our children to have a better lifestyle, a better life than what we actually had. So everything that you talk about there is just absolutely amazing. Like, it's blown my mind, because I never thought that until you actually broke that down. It makes sense. So it's usable for parents to understand when a child is not sharing the toys, or when they're screaming, or there's something that happens in the playground that's not right. Like maybe a child's bullying them. So children imitate their environment. So I'm going to bring this back to Keith, because he's the expert in this. So I'm going to defer back to him, because I know he's busting with questions.
Oh, Ariel, you are something else, I tell you, because, when we started this several months ago, you were like, you were hoping to learn something from some of our classes, and every class, we all seem to learn something. I don't have any little ones. I've got grandchildren now, which is awesome dividends of raising your children right. So, but I want to refer to a couple of things. First of all, Sean, you talked about motivation, and he's listening to you, listening to stuff like that. Well, one of the things I did, I was a divorced dad. Okay, I was a part-time dad, but I always kept my full-time heart, and that's what really kind of helped Dads for Life get started. But when I did that, I was with my daughter. I never talked negative about her mother. I never, cussed her mother or whatever. All that. I didn't do all that negative in front of her. I always tried to remain positive. And she knew that Dad was upset about some things from time to time as she got older, and she recognized that. But one of the things I did, because Zig Ziglar was a friend of mine, I had some tapes from Zig Ziglar. I had tapes from John Maxwell, tapes from Jim Rohn, and you quote Jim Rohn on page 35 of your book. Excuses are well made up lies, and actions create results. If you want something, you will find a way, and if you don't, you will find an excuse.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about that. She was talking about I couldn't do this or in school or whatever it was. I said, well, you need to listen to this tape. She said, Dad, that's an adult tape. I know. You listen to this tape. You do a book report for me, like a one-page book report of what you learned, and I'll give you $10. Whew, that helped.
Right.
She learned a lot. And you know what she does today? She motivates people when she's a speaker. And so it's incredible. She's led a large number of women because she learned how to be positive in the lives of others by watching her dad or her mom. Okay. And I tell you, it's just amazing what you can do when you do that at home, because I've seen the results as a 30-year police officer of the negative side of it. And I've had to arrest parents because some of their negativity got really physical, and that was sad. But I want to reset a little bit. I'm Dr. Keith, and with Dads for Life, and this is my co-host, Ariel Wheeler, down in Australia. We are interviewing tonight Sean Wyman, who is now talking to his Periscope family, and that's what I want to do is I want to welcome Periscope, because Periscope is on my end and Sean's end, and we're watching a lot. So if you have a question on Periscope, you can send it to Sean on his screen or send it to my screen if you're watching one of my viewers, because our audience has built up quite a bit, and we just appreciate you coming in. We try to bring in all the live avenues that we can to bring straight talk to parents, because we have parents all over the place. Dads for Life is reaching out to 22 countries now. I am just blown away, because like Sean or Ariel said earlier, we didn't know when we started helping somebody, we didn't know it was going to carry out and we weren't going to explode like that. So we're talking to Sean Wyman tonight, who wrote Let Go, the Movement Process. He and I are both a part of the Authors in Business, the AIB group, and with Desiree Lee at D. Lee Inspires. If you have a story and you want to put it in writing, I would suggest highly that you contact Desiree because she can help you do that. So Sean and I are getting ready to do a book signing tour with her, and mine begins this week, this coming weekend in Houston, Texas. So if you are, it's January 14th. If you're in the Houston area and you're at the Galleria Mall at the Microsoft store, January 14th at 3 p.m., we will be there. There are 16 authors that will be signing books that day and telling their story. Pretty incredible process. Yeah. Talking about the movement process, Sean, hold your book up again. Hold your book up on your end.
Oh, here it is.
Now, here you go, Ariel. What do you think about that, huh? See? If you just had one down there in Australia, see, we'd have a really unique picture. Screenshot.
That's right.
Somebody.
We'd have a hat trick, movement process.
Very handsome indeed.
Hey, does it count, though, if I'm bouncing off two screens? Because I got it going off of the Zoom and Periscope at the same time.
I don't know. Can you screenshot that, Ariel?
Yeah, absolutely. One moment. Let's just all say cheese, and I will press the button now.
Hey, cheese.
I just got Keith.
Oh, you just got me? Oh, my goodness.
Because the Zoom changes in between his speaker. Okay, I'll let Scene say something. Sorry, go on.
That's okay.
There you go. So somebody will send that picture to us, I'm sure. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So I see Desiree has joined us, Sean.
Hey, Desiree, she joined from your side?
That's right, because she knew what happened the other night, right?
Hey, but that's all right. I got Ken Loring on my side. I got Ken Loring from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on my side. So.
And I have Desiree Lee on my side. So, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
She joined you the other night, and I said, I can't believe you're on that side. So anyway. Okay,
Speaking of angry children.
Back to business as we start to wrap this up. I got a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
Your book encourages us to let go of our past because it keeps us from having the life they deserve. or that
Right.
we serve. Can you elaborate just a little bit how that affects your children if you give your child a past that they're going to have to build back from? How far does that set them back, Sean?
It can set them back a lifetime. I mean, think about it, man. Some kids never let it go. Some kids never let it go. Some kids never get the opportunity. Some kids never get the right mentorship. They don't recognize that God is there. They don't recognize the alignment, that they don't recognize that God's orchestrating things. They don't see, because their mindset is so messed up. They never see anything else. That's why mindset is the cornerstone of the movement process, because without it, nothing else can happen. Nothing else can happen. So for me, it was 40 years, Keith. 40 years to figure it out. And that's why I wrote the book, because I wanted people to learn it faster. I wanted people, and God, I believe, wanted me to write this book to teach people how they can do it a lot faster. So somebody could take 40 years to figure out what I did or what I accomplished, and listen and get all the process and figure everything out. Or they can read the book in an hour or two, and they can have the playbook and now be ready to take action.
Wow. So look at that. It's like money. You put money in the bank early in life, hey, it'll catch up with you.
You get a good return on investment. Yes.
Yeah, if you start saving at 50 when you should start saving at 30, there's a little difference in that, right?
Yes.
All right, one more question. What would you tell a parent about speaking positive into the lives of children based on going back to your life? If someone had done that, where you'd be today. So you had the negative. What are you telling your children? Now, we've talked about encouraging them through motivational speaking, but what do you tell them on a daily basis, Sean, to get them going for the day?
I think the most important thing is that you love them, that you love them. You love them, and I think that's like as a police officer, when I put my vest on in the morning, I know my son will wake up and go, "Daddy, you better not leave this house without giving me a hug and kiss and telling me you love me," because that's what Because, and here's the thing, man, you don't know. Tomorrow is promised to no one. That's right. 2 police officers lost their lives today in Orlando, Florida.
Do you think it's National Law Enforcement Day?
Do you think they knew when they walked out of the house today that today was the last day of their life? Mm-hmm. So I try to treat every day as if it is, and I try to live every day and every moment and savor every opportunity, because I know tomorrow is not promised to any of us. No matter how good it looks, no matter how great the forecast is, whatever, no one is promised tomorrow. No one. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just telling your children how much you love them, how much you believe in them, and helping them through their challenges, and recognizing that they have their challenges that they need to go through. And sometimes we don't need to get involved. Sometimes we need to be there to help them to feel safe and respected and help them to feel understood, but we don't necessarily have to muddle in it either. We can let them kind of work through it themselves, and we're always there if they need us, but I think it's important for us to allow our children to work through challenges on their own. Instead of always giving them the answers and just serving everything on a platter to them, help them to learn how to problem solve and how to work through challenges and how to face stressful situations. But from the beginning, it's I love you. It's telling your children you love them every day. I mean, that's for me.
Sean, that hits a point, and I think we're going to be wrapping it up on that. Loving your child every day, telling your child you love them. Ariel and I interviewed Garth Callaghan of the Napkin Note Dad movement a few weeks ago, and I was blown away. She was blown away. I think he was blown away by retelling his story. And there was a moment in that process, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. There was a moment in there, and it's on our website or somewhere. We can get it to you, but it was powerful because he was talking about, he wrote these positive notes on a napkin each day and put them in his child's lunch as an elementary student. Okay, she loved him. Her friends around it loved him, and he got sick with cancer and was told he was going to pass. So he took every night after she went to bed and he prayed with her and kissed her goodnight because he didn't know about tomorrow. Like you said, we don't know about tomorrow. We don't have tomorrow guaranteed to us, right? It's that dash between the day we're born and the day we die. It's the dash. As we get older, like some of us, the dash is getting shorter. But here's what Garth did, and Ariel can attest to this. Garth decided that every night after she went to bed, he would take more napkins out and write a note, and wrote hundreds of notes until he had 823 notes stored in a box, because that's how many school days she had left. Because he didn't know about tomorrow.
Yeah.
And his movement, his simple thing of writing on a note became a movement. Your simple thing has become a movement. Us encouraging dads have become a movement. Ariel has a movement in Australia helping all these people with their brands. So I'm telling you, what you do little to help somebody can become a movement. Now, does it work like that for everybody? No. But I can tell you this. Sean can tell you this. Ladies and gentlemen, I was a kid whose dad died when I was 11 years old. I had no one mentor me, absolutely no one, except my mom. And 7 days, or 7 times, I was almost killed. 7 times. Because you don't know about tomorrow. But when you put yourselves in positions or things happen to you that you almost die, you think about life is really short. But how much better can our children be if you speak love and positively, comments in their life every single day, write them a note, that has become a movement. Actually, parents are doing that, putting notes in their children's lunches. So that's what we're talking about tonight. We have taken Sean Wyman, who had no encouragement, as a young kid, he needed encouragement, but yet he became the movement process guy. He's the one who's learned how to let go so he could teach others how to let go early in life. And that's what we're doing, parents. That's what we're doing. That's what Ariel, she comes on with me every Monday night. We try to help parents figure it out to help your child, because we only get one shot at it. One shot at it. I have a friend who will be one of our guests very soon who started a movement, Sean, who was a former Marine. And he says you're never an ex, you're a former Marine maybe, okay? And then he was an NFL running back, and he started a movement to help parents understand their role in their kid's life, like you were saying, and has started a huge organization.
Nice.
And that's the parenthelpcenter.com. So I tell you this, let's end on this note. Parents, we have tried to encourage you. That's what we do each Monday night here on Straight Talk. We have got a large following on Periscope right now on my end, Sean. And
yeah, I do too. I got like 15. What's up, Periscope?
Yeah, what's up, Periscope? I can't do that because, anyway. All right, so anyway, we are excited about what we're doing here at Straight Talk and Parents Share. And Ariel, before we end, share our new reveal, the Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, absolutely. This is our new page. We are working on the details, but I'm going to share our Facebook page. So let me know when you can see our share screen.
Got it.
Awesome. So this is our new page. As we said, we've been doing this for about 5 months, and we decided that it was time to go official and just share this with everybody, because we all are about movement, and that's life. Life moves in different times, different circles, but the one thing that connects us, is our love, our drive to help other people. So we're all in the service of helping each other. So this is the Straight Talk for Parents. This is our official Straight Talk for Parents Facebook business page. So you can definitely check us out there. You can like us. In the last 24 hours, we've got like 69 people who've already liked, who are already engaging in this. So if you know anyone who is a parent or who is becoming a parent, who needs just some help and who needs some encouragement and confidence in being a parent, this is what the Straight Talk for Parents is. This show is about collaborating with people who have struggled in their past, who have experienced stress or anxiety, depression, whatever their story is about showcasing that story so that we can help other parents. Because this is what it's all about, daily connections with our children's and with ourselves and with the world. This is what we are about. So I'm just going to scroll through the page so everyone can have a quick look. As we said, this is only a new page, so there is not a lot to look at the moment, but there will be. and this replay will be available on YouTube, and it will be available on the Straight Talk for Parents on Facebook.
Awesome.
So absolutely, I will share that link very shortly there in Zoom, so everyone can get a copy. As we said, it's just new, so there's not much to look at except for logos and a few pictures, and obviously this will be live on our page within the next 24 hours. So I'm absolutely honored and thrilled and just super stoked that Sean has come on with us, and we've just basically officially released this. So it's an absolute honor to be a co-host with Keith Jowers. He's absolutely amazing. We met, I think it was about nearly almost over a year ago in a mastermind group, and since then we have come together, and this is what we have created. So thank you so much, Sean, for being a part of that, because it's absolutely amazing, all about movement, and it's just great to collaborate with you and share this with everybody.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to be able to spend time with you guys as well. So thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Ariel, for all of that, all the work you did on that Facebook page. We're working in parents. We're working it for you. We're helping you. We want to help you whatever way. You can reach Sean at what website, Sean, or what email?
Well, you can reach me at my website, successwithseanwyman.com. To get the book, you can go to themovementprocess.com. Or if you just want to connect with me, you can either go through successwithseanwyman.com, and you can go to the application. You can fill out your information, and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. Let me know exactly what you want to talk about. Or you can email me at successwithseanwyman@gmail.com.
Wow, powerful. I am so excited. Okay, so this is the book once again, folks. This is the Let Go the Movement Process. You can get it on Amazon, right, Sean?
Yes, you can get it on Amazon.
Or you can
in print.
Or you can see Sean and me together
in Miami.
May
March 11th. March 11th, and then April 8th we'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina.
This Saturday, January 14th, I will be in Houston, Texas, without a 10-gallon hat. I can tell you that. So, but I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen, about what's happening here. And by the way, Sean, let me tell you, Ken Loring just came on my Periscope.
That's all right. Desiree Lee just came on mine a few minutes ago.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody. Once again, folks, if you have a story to tell, you can reach out to dleeinspires.com. And, Mr. Jim Relentless has joined us. That's awesome.
Oh, Jim Beach.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate Sean Wyman being with us, and we appreciate Ariel Wheeler being with us from down in Australia. And appreciate my admin wife, Glenda, helping out on that end. We appreciate her. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's what the end of the Straight Talk tonight. It has been powerful. Ariel, we're going to chalk this one up as one of our best, I think. So, we got a few others there.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the running of all that. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy New Year. It's 2017. Make sure that you do everything you can to involve your kids, be at their schools. If you say you're going to show up, show up. Unless something emergency happens, and you can talk to them about that. And I really appreciate our guest tonight, Sean Wyman from Success with Sean Wyman, and the author of Let's Go, the Movement Process. So until next Monday night, Ariel, you can say goodbye from down in Australia.
Yeah, I would like to say g'day, but that's actually a hello. So I'm just going to say goodbye, and thank you for everyone for joining us live. And thanks again for joining us.
But thank you. It's already her Tuesday down there, ladies and gentlemen. So,
I'm in there.
So she's been in 2017 a day ahead of all of us. So, Sean, we appreciate you, sir. You and I will see each other on February 2nd, and I look forward to that. And God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, go out and encourage, enhance, and enrich someone in your life, making their life better. But let's start with our children, because they truly do need it the most. Until next Monday night, we'll see you later from the Straight Talk with Parents. Okay.